Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Hope you're having a great day today. Well, in today's video, we're going to be discussing the Rivian quad motor. It just come out and I've been waiting for this vehicle for over a year now, and it's kind of anticipating what the price is going to be, and the pricing is out along with the features. And I have to say I was disappointed and I was also happy at the same time. Now I'll explain why. In today's video, I'm going to discuss the pricing of the quad motor. And I know a lot of reviewers are saying that it's priced too high as far as the features that you get. But is it really? And also we're going to discuss a possible marketing strategy that Rivian may be employing, which actually may boost sales of the vehicles. And at the end of the video, I'm going to let you know whether or not I plan on getting this vehicle. So let's go ahead and get into this. The first thing we're going to do is look at the quad motor and look at some of the features it offers. And we're going to do a comparison across the vehicles, and we're going to see how much price increases really is, and is it really as much as people are saying that it is. And here we're looking at the specs of the R1S. And this is a quad motor, and it does 0 to 60 in 2.6 seconds. And it gets approximately 374 miles of range and 400 miles in conserve mode, which is pretty good. And 1,025 horsepower and 1,198 pound-feet of torque, which is quite a bit. And this is, check out the R1T. And looking at the R1T, and then the only difference is that it goes from 0 to 60 in 2.5 seconds, which is pretty darn quick. Now let's look at some of the additional things you get with this vehicle. Of course, you get the exclusive wheels, and these are the Michelin Super Sport. And also you get the Laguna Beach blue accents. Lots of things. And also you get the elevated interior along with it. And of course, 4 motors for 4 times the fun. And additional features will be kick turn, and that should be coming up in the update in September. And also you get the rad tuner, which allows you to make more fine-tuned adjustments to the ride quality of the vehicle and the performance of the vehicle. And that should be coming in the update also. And launch mode, which is already included on the Tri-Motor. So now that's what we're looking at. Now we're going to look at these vehicles and kind of compare them to each other to see what the price differences are. I know a lot of reviewers are looking at this and say it's not a good purchase decision, and I can understand where they're coming from. However, we're going to see that actually looking at the numbers and see how big of increase it really is. Also, I'm a Gen 1 quad owner, and I paid quite a bit less for my quad motor, but this one is a lot more capable, and it has just better stuff on it. All right, first we're going to look at the dual standard. And you see the dual standard Rivian is priced at $70,990. And then let's take a look at the R1T dual pricing, and it's $77,990. So between a dual standard and a dual large pack, you're looking at around a 10% price increase between those two vehicles. And also you're looking at a 22% increase in range. And so 10% price increase for 22% increase in range, not a bad deal. And of course, 0 to 60 is the same, 4.5 seconds. However, with the large pack or the dual motor Rivian, you do have the option to upgrade to the max pack and also the performance upgrade, which will give you 665 horsepower. And we're going to discuss that, because if you max that out, really, you're going into the Tri-Motor price range. And so over on the other end of the spectrum, we have the Tri-Motor at $100,000. So going from the base dual motor at $77,990 to a Tri-Motor, you're looking at a 30% increase in price. That is huge. That's a big increase. That's a big jump. And so, but what are you getting for that jump? And let's look at the range. And so the range between these two vehicles, you're looking at EPA 329 miles versus 371 miles. So you're looking at around a 13% increase in range. So that's not that big of an increase in range for the 30% increase in price. However, let's look at the performance. So the base dual motor, you're looking at 533 horsepower, and the base Tri-Motor, you're looking at 850 horsepower. So you're looking at approximately a 60% increase in power. That is quite a bit. So you're looking at 317 additional horsepower, which is quite a bit. That is a lot. That's a lot of power increase. So you're looking at a a 4.5 seconds 0 to 60 down to 2.9 seconds with the Tri-Motor. And so that's what you're really paying for. That's like going from a base model Charger to a Hellcat. And there's going to be a huge price difference. So no different here. Also, with the stepping up to the Tri-Motor, you go from the Adventure interior, which I have in my vehicle, up to the Ascend interior. And then you also get more drive modes also. And so that's just a base, and we're going to go a little more in detail in this. And then now let's go from the Tri to the Quad. And you're looking at the base price of $100,000 on the Tri to $119,990 on the Quad-Motor Launch Edition. And that is an increase of approximately 18%. And as far as range is basically the same. And the performance, you're going from 2.9 seconds to 2.5 seconds, and from 850 horsepower to 1,025 horsepower. That is an increase of 175 horsepower or 21% approximately. So again, a big jump in power. Also, you get different tire choices with this. And so, yeah, so looking at that still looks like a pretty big spread, but we're going to look at the numbers and we're going to go to the configurator and look at this and see for what it really is. So now I'm just trying to quickly show you how you can configure a dual motor to cost just as much as a Tri-Motor. Let's go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and build one. So right here we have the R1T dual motor, and you see I can step up to the max pack for $7,000, and that's going to give me up to 420 miles of range. And I can also do the performance upgrade, and that's going to give me 665 horsepower and 829 pound-feet of torque. 0 to 60, 3.4 seconds. And I have more paint options. Let's go with black. And that's a $3,000 upgrade. And wheel packages. I want to go off-road. So let's go ahead and select these all-terrain package, which includes a 20-inch all-terrain wheels, a full-size spare, and a reinforced underbody shield. And also includes a black accents. And let's go with the Ocean Coast Dark Wood. That's what I have in my current Rivian. That's the $2,000 upgrade. And sound and vision package. Let's go ahead and add that. And also add a power tunnel cover. And reinforced underbody is also included. Utility panels included. And also get a 60-day trial Connect Plus. And also Rivian autonomy through late 2025. And again, with this, the sound and vision package, that's almost mandatory because the sound system on the Gen 2 is not the greatest. In fact, my Gen 1 is a lot better. So let's just go here. And what else do we have? We see that now we have to pay for a portable charger. That is no longer included, and that's $400. But we're not going to add that in. Yeah, but you do get a J1772 adapter. And if you want a CCS adapter, you're going to have to pay $300 for that. And if you want a key fob, that's going to be $250. So a key fob is no longer included. And cam speaker, that's extra. We're not going to add that. And let's just go ahead and we're going to go to vehicle summary, and we're going to look at the price of this vehicle. And we see that the vehicle is priced out at $105,190. That goes into the range of the Tri-Motor. So now let's look at the R1T Tri-Motor, and we're going to build one out and see how much it costs. And so this is the Tri-Motor here, and I selected LA Silver paint. And I also selected the all-terrain tires, the same with the 20-inch rims and the full-size spare and reinforced underbody shield. And I'm just going to go with the Black Mountain interior. Looks pretty good to me. And it comes with an aux port, just like all the rest of the vehicles. And then, of course, the trial for the Rivian Autonomy platform and Connect Plus for 60 days. And also the sound and vision package is included, along with the utility panel, the power tunnel cover, and reinforced underbody shield. All right, let's go to accessories. We're not going to add anything. And again, even with this $100,000 vehicle, no Rivian portable charger, which is ridiculous. And the CCS1 adapter is $300. And if you're paying $100,000 for a vehicle, you still don't get a key fob. You have to pay $250 for a key fob. $100,000 vehicle. Anyway. And also the camp speaker is not included in this. And so we're not going to add any of these extra accessories. Let's just go to vehicle summary and look at the price. Vehicle price, $105,940. So I can get a tri-motor vehicle with the off-road package for this virtually the same amount as a dual motor. That's a problem. That's a marketing problem. Okay, now let's go to the quad. And we're going to go ahead and hit buy here in R1T because that's what I will be getting in the quad motor, will be the R1T. I'm going to go ahead and spec this out. And you only have two color options, either lunch green or either slate sky. My favorite color by far is limestone, but unfortunately Rivian canceled limestone along with Canyon Red. I mean, limestone, that was almost a deal killer for me because I love that limestone. But these are two options we have here. I don't really care for the green with the Laguna blue. I don't really like that color combination. I love the lunch green color, but not with the blue Laguna blue. I don't really care for that. And so let's go with the blue storm plus slate sky plus walnut wood. So let's go with that, and that is included. And wheel and tire package. Yeah, these super sports look nice, but let me show you something here, how much these things cost. And you know these tires don't last long. So these are the Michelin Pilot Sport S5s, and this is for Rivian, and these are the electric vehicle tune ones. So if you're going to replace them, and these are the front tires, and they're offset tires. So these are HL 275/50 R22s, and those are the front tires. And again, $557 to $558 basically for those tires. And the rear tires, you're looking at $584 for the rear tire replacement. And again, the rear tires are 305/45 22s. And you look at the warranty on these things, it's 6 years, 30,000 miles, half mileage for rear if different than front, which it is in this case. So you'd probably be replacing tires every 2 years on this at a lot of money. Let's go back to the configurator. So here are the tire options you have. You have these Super Sports, and I just showed you again. The other wheel package options are 22 Sport Burnished Bronze. And I don't know how I feel about that. I do have the Sport Blacks, and I love those Sport 22-inch Sport Blacks. This I'm not sure about, so I probably wouldn't go with it. And also you have another option of the 20-inch Dune Satin Graphite All-Terrains. And with these, it says you can include a matching full-size spare. And it'd be great if you got a full-size spare at this price point with those other tires. And also the other one is the All-Terrain Dark. You know, that's what I would go with in this case because you can off-road and have the speed on top of that. This also includes Rivian Autonomy Platform Plus. And that's a lifetime upgrade along with Connect Plus lifetime upgrade. And it has a standard sound and vision package, utility panel, power tonneau cover, and a reinforced underbody shield. Okay, now let's go to accessory. Maybe we can get some free stuff here. Again, $120,000 vehicle, no portable charger, which is ridiculous. But you do get the J1772 adapter, and you do get the CCS1 DC adapter. That's included. So that's a $300. So at least they included that. And also you get the key fob included in this price. And also the camp speaker. Crossbar is not included. So let's just go ahead into vehicle summary. And this vehicle is $19,990. So back for the configurator for the Tri-Motor R1T. And I'm going to spec it just like the quad motor that I just spec'd. And so I'm going to choose the same paint color. And this is the Storm Blue. And wheel package, I'm going to go with the all-terrains. Just like with the other vehicles ain't badging, I'm going to pick the slate sky with walnut. And of course, it comes with the trial period for the Rivian Autonomy Connect Plus. It has all the same vision package and along with the reinforced underbody shield. Next, I'm going to accessories. I'm going to include the CCS1 adapter for $300, a key fob to make it just like that. I'm going to include the camp speaker because the other vehicle comes with that also. And hit next. It used to be standard with this vehicle. Now they made an option. My pricing here is $112,890 for this vehicle. So really, now that you take a look at this, that's not that big of a price difference between the quad and the tri-motor. And so basically, we're looking at around a 6.5% increase in price between $119,000 and $112,890. You're looking at around 6.5%, or around $7,400. So if you're looking at it from that perspective, it's not that big of a price increase because you also get kick turn, and also you get the rad tuner, which is something you don't get on the other vehicles, and that's pretty good. That's not that bad. And also you're looking at a horsepower increase for over 20%, almost 21% of horsepower increase. So that is a lot. So you're looking at a 21% horsepower increase for around a 6.5% increase in price. Not a bad deal if you look at it from that perspective. You really compare apples and apples. And so now let's discuss some of the strategies that Rivian may be employing and why this is maybe actually a good thing that they priced this vehicle. They added the quad motor. I know a lot of influencers like doesn't make any sense. No one's going to buy this and all of this other stuff. Well, maybe that's the point. So in marketing, there's a strategy known as asymmetric dominance, or the decoy effect. And this is a very effective cognitive bias that a lot of marketers use. In fact, if you ever went to a movie theater and purchased some popcorn, you're going to understand exactly what I'm going to illustrate here. So you have your little small popcorn for $2. Then you have your medium popcorn for $3.50. Then you have your large popcorn for $4. And so anyone looking at this was like, well, I can just pay 50 cents more and get this big popcorn. That's a deal. And in this case, the decoy is the medium popcorn. It's not meant to be purchased. It's meant as a decoy in order to help encourage your choice. And so in this sense, you'll think you're getting a better deal when really it's just a decoy. And so in this case right now, Rivian, in fact, has two decoys now. The first decoy being the standard pack at $70,000, when you can pay 10% more and get a dual pack. And also you can looking at a 20% increase in range, which will push you towards a higher cost vehicle. And now we also have the same effect with the Tri-Motor. Since Rivian introduced the quad motor, you have the same decoy effect. Now people are looking at the quad motors like, man, that's expensive. Now the deal is to get the Tri-Motor. And so you have this effect on both sides. You have two decoys pushing consumers to the middle to make a choice. And apparently this strategy has been effective because I hear a lot of influencers reviewing this vehicle saying, hey, the best deal is to get the Tri-Motor now because you can get all the speed and all this other stuff. It's just as good, just as much range. So go ahead. So now the Tri-Motor it seems like a deal now. Very smart on Rivian's part, effective strategy, known as the decoy effect, or also asymmetric dominance. Look into it. But I want to know your thoughts in the comment section. I want to know your thoughts about what I discussed as far as the pricing, why this may not be as much money as people think it is, and why I'm reconsidering now looking at the numbers of actually purchasing this vehicle now. So we'll see. I think it has a lot of upside, and you got the fastest vehicle on the block, have some bragging rights, and not that much more than the comparably equipped Tri-Motor vehicle with some of the same stuff. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section. And if you haven't already, please like and subscribe. Well, that's all I have for today. I'd like to thank you for joining me again. And I can't wait to see you on the next video.